Welcome to the Knit Sibs podcast, the podcast by three yarn-obsessed sisters. I'm Valerie.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Gloria.
And let's get started with, does anyone have anything off their needles this week?
I do.
Go ahead.
I have the Colourscape cowl in
That turned out
Koigu.
so good.
I'm very happy with it. I weaved in the ends this morning. So it's all, I like weaved in the ends, wove in the ends while I was knitting it, but I had to like snip everything. So that's all done this morning. I'm really like as haphazard and like random as the colors seem, I really like them.
Mm-hmm.
I think they look nice together. I do think, let me show you what it looks like on. So I do, all my cowls have never had shaping to them. I've always worn just plain cowls, but I do think Gloria had a good point last week or the week before when you were saying it doesn't have shaping, like the Juniper cowl. I think it would be nice if it was wider on the bottom, but it's not going to deter me from wearing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it looks cute. It's cozy, it's squishy. I've never used Koigu before, so I'm very
Isn't it nice?
Yes, it was beautiful. And I really enjoyed knitting it and seeing what the colors were going to look like. And as I was knitting each color, like there's not like a super other than this dark one, there's not like a super defined line between them. So like each color, I just knit them in the order they were on the plastic ring.
Zip tie.
Words are difficult tonight. But they did seem to be put in an order that made sense because each color had at least one color of the color before it. So I thought they flowed really nice. So I'm excited to start wearing this. This is my only off the needles this week.
How about you, Glor?
I have a baby blanket done. I finished the baby blanket I was talking about last time. So this is it all done. I put a border on it. So you know, I held two strands together and then I put a border on. I put just like a white border on. And again, this is from is it Attic 24? Is that what it's called? Attic 24. I think she just has a blog that she puts her patterns on. And there's like a tutorial on how to, this is like part of a larger border that she puts on hers, but it's got that granny stripe like triplet that you do all the way around. And I think it gives like a nice smooth edge because then I put on it's a reverse single crochet. I think they call it the crab stitch. And so the first border is white, it's just white, and it's actually two strands, so I held it double. And then the second border is one strand of white and one strand of the color from the blanket. Yeah, so it's mostly all blue all the way around because it just didn't change. But it is for a baby boy, so I think it works out fine. And she actually had the baby yesterday or the day before.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, so she just had the baby. So I have to pick off the dog hair from this and send it out.
Just use a roller, a sticky roller.
Yeah. So I just have to get it in the mail now. So that's all done.
Nice.
Very
Looks good.
I have one finished object and I'm wearing it.
Yay!
This is not what I would normally wear it with. I haven't had time to style it, but this is the Ursa sweater.
Nice.
Very nice.
It's the Ursa sweater by Jacqueline Cieslak, and it's knit in Cascade Eco Plus. And it is knit pretty much to pattern with the exception of the sleeves. I do not like fitted sleeves. So I just like, they were supposed to be really tight with where the rest of the body has a lot of positive ease. The sleeves are supposed to have negative ease. And I didn't think I would enjoy wearing it like that. So I just did straight sleeves with no decreases. And
So I
it's
think you
got-
should style it with the long flowy skirt or a
Yeah.
sundress.
So the most people seem to style it with either very high-waisted pants, which is not my style, or a like linen flowy shapeless dress type thing. So I think that's what I'm going to go for, which means I need to start sewing some stuff because I want to make I want it to be like a whole handmade outfit.
Well,
So
if you find a good sewing pattern for a dress, let me know. I decided last summer was the summer of the muumuu. So I only wore enormous shapeless dresses.
yeah.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
So I think I might do it again next summer.
Well, I have Jacqueline Cieslak actually put out a book where it's like a capsule wardrobe type thing. Like there's just a couple patterns, but they're just like classic. You can layer them type things. And there is a long dress in that. So I think I'm going to try and make that pattern, but we'll see.
I've
But
always wanted to make
love
my
it.
own clothes.
And
I've
it was
never done it.
quick knit. I like this this detail here. This is
Yeah.
she called it half brioche stitch. So like the raised part is a regular brioche stitch and then just purl in between. So yeah, I'm really happy with it.
It looks really good.
That's nice.
Thanks.
Good
And that's all
job.
my off my needles. So I think that's
Wow.
everything we have for off the needles this week. So why don't we go to our on the needles? We'll start with Gloria.
Well, should I start with the one that we all have?
Finish with that one and then we'll all go through it.
Okay. All right. So first I have, I started another blanket. I think I talked about this last week. So I started a second baby blanket. So same idea, Caron cakes, held double. This one is blues, obviously blues and browns, like tan colors. This is for my husband's coworker who did our theme music. So she is due February. So I just started it. I think it looks very beachy.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
And they like to go to the beach. They like to go to the Jersey Shore, but they're not like Jersey Shore people, but they go to the Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
So,
The Jersey Shore is actually beautiful. So.
yeah. I think his father moved there a couple years ago, so he has a house there. So they go there all the time. So I think it looks very beachy, and I think it looks very appropriate. So again, that's the Caron cotton cakes. Cotton cakes, and you like it changes color. So I'm holding it double, so I'm holding 2 strands, and so then the way that it changes, the color changes.
So how many skeins of that big huge skein do you need?
4.
4. Okay.
Yeah, so two of these held double.
Yeah.
So, and then my second is my Shawlography.
Yay!
It is growing and growing and growing. So I don't know where I was like 2 weeks ago. I think I didn't have the I think I didn't have both the side wedges done yet.
You had one side wedge done.
Yeah, so I have both the side wedges done. I did brioche. I'm so excited. So it's white. White is the main color on the right side, and gold is the main color on the wrong side. So I almost switched it because he said you could, with whatever color you liked more. But I left it with the white. Then I had the X's here, which mine are not showing up very well, and I feel like they're looking a little sloppy. So I'm hoping when I block it, it comes out better.
Yeah.
And then onto the border here, which you just kind of stripe all the colors through. And at first I thought this was going to be like too like stark with the rest of the shawl, because like there's so many color changes, and they're so like the colors are so like intertwined with each other, and then you're just like striping it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know how I feel about it, but like now that I'm doing it, I really like it, and it really like, because like as you're doing the border, you're like binding off.
Yeah.
So like hold it so you guys can see it. So like as you're doing the border, you're binding off. So it's like it's really fun to like pick up the stitch from the X's as you're binding off.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying that. But like every stripe is an X here. So I have like 40 something X's left.
And how many have you done? What are you, like a third of the way through or something?
Oh God, no. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12.
12. Okay.
That's not bad. You're getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but I have plans for these needles, which I'll talk about in my dreams. But you know, because I can't buy any more needles yet until I have credit card points, until I have Amazon points. I have plans for these needles, so I want to finish this. I mean, I want to finish it, but oh, and I'm doing the weave and Steven method. So if anybody hasn't done the weave and Steven, I highly recommend. I get a little nervous with it sometimes because I feel like sometimes on the right side, like you can see it, like it like pulls a little bit. And I felt like it was happening on this. But then like once I got a couple rows further, it kind of like relaxed a little bit, and it looks fine.
Do you tug the end at all?
Yeah, sometimes, but that doesn't make any difference. When it does that, it doesn't make any difference. It like elongates the stitch almost.
Okay.
And it happened, I used it for Stark Baking Mad. And it happened with that, and you can see it, like you can see where I wove in the ends, like where I held it on the back. It like elongated the stitch a little bit.
Yeah.
So I get very nervous that it's going to happen again, because I don't, and especially this is all like garter stitch. Like I don't want there to be any gaps in it. Like I felt like the Start Baking Mad, like it had so much more going on that like it doesn't really matter. Like there were picked up stitches and you know all that, so it didn't really make that big of a difference. But like I know it's there, and it bothers me. So I get very nervous with the weave and Steven, but it seems to be working just fine. And there's no way that I am weaving in 120 something ends at the end of this.
So there's another like weave in the ends as you go method that I use, and I don't know how to describe it. I don't remember where I found it.
There is I know the method that you're talking about, and Nitty Natty, who has the Love and Stitches podcast, she has a tutorial on how to do that. It's like she calls it knitting over the ends, I think she calls it. And it's like, I don't know, I can't explain it. Yeah, I can't explain it.
It goes like over my needle for one stitch, and then under my needle, and then over my needle, and then under my needle.
Right. So you like drape it over, then you like knit under it, and then the next stitch like catches it. So yeah, but I feel like you can see that too. I've used that method too.
And it's not as secure on the back side. The weave and Steven, I feel like, is more secure on the back side, but for both of the methods, I feel like, you know, you could just grab it with a crochet hook and pull it, and you pull the whole thing out.
Right.
So I guess it's pretty unlikely that that's going to happen, but I still worry about it.
Yeah, like the first few times I used the weave and Steven, it was great and it was amazing, and you couldn't see it at all. I didn't have this issue. And then when we did the Stark Baking Mad is when that started to happen, and now like it happens every so often that you can just like see it. It like elongates that stitch there. So
I think I used the weave and Steven on my Just Beachy, which I have next to me, and I wasn't able to see it. I can't, at least I can't see it now.
Yeah. So, We'll see. I'm doing it because I'm not weaving these ends in at the end. But I'm very much enjoying this. I'm very happy I kept going with it. I'm very happy I did brioche. Now I want to like brioche everything.
Well, now I have to learn brioche. I'm the only one who hasn't done it.
I want to find an advent that has brioche in it. That's my goal for next year, is an advent that has brioche in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's one out there somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. And then my last one is our sister knit along, crochet along. I don't know what we want to call it.
Oh, I think I wrote knit along in the Instagram post. Yeah, no, it's a crochet along or make along,
Yeah,
whatever.
We're crocheting.
Yeah.
We're doing the Juniper cowl. Number 2 for me. Yay! So I feel like these are smaller skeins than the Koigu. I'm using the Loco Birthstone set, November Birthstone set. Val has the same one. And these are smaller skeins than the Koigu. But you know, I've seen a lot of people on Instagram have made it, but I feel like it's gonna come out like much smaller. Like the one I made for Mom, I felt like was plenty big, but I'm getting nervous that this is gonna be like small, like much smaller.
So I was looking through Ravelry because I wanted to see, like, I guess before I read the pattern, I wanted to see if people needed to make any changes because I didn't know like when you did increases and stuff like that. There's actually someone who knit it with just 5 minis, like from the, I don't remember if it was from the Loco or the Koigu pencil box. It might have been from the pencil box, but they knit a cowl with 5 pencil box minis and it felt like it was big enough. So I'm pretty sure this will be fine.
Yeah, like I think that'll be plenty big, but like I feel like compared to the Koigu one, it's going to be
well, our
smaller,
mini skeins
obviously.
are 5 grams each mini skein. That's 50 grams.
Right.
That's a half a skein of yarn.
Right.
Difference.
Right.
So yeah.
So that's like it's like 2 stripes of the Koigu that it's going to be shorter 2 stripes of the Koigu one, essentially. So
but the other one you knit, I mean, it pooled a lot and stuff around Mom's neck. So I think they'll be plenty big. Yeah.
And I'm using the same like hook size and everything, but I feel like this is like the neck opening is bigger than the other one, because I feel like the other one I was looking at it and I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna fit over my head. Like, you know, and I tried it on a few times and I was like, oh, that's fine. But like this, I feel like it's bigger. So that's making me nervous too. But I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm not ripping it back and starting over with a smaller hook. I'm using a G, which is what I used last time. And I'm not ripping back and
the pattern calls for an F, I think.
I'm using an F.
Yeah. I don't know, because the pattern
calls for an F, because I had to change
6, but a G is a 6.
A G is also a 6. Yeah.
Because my F is not a 6, it's 5.
A lot of sets don't sell an F. A lot of sets, like when you buy a crochet hook set, a lot of sets will not sell an F, and they just sell a G as a 6. So I wonder if it's like my knit picks, like my little knit picks sock needles. I have 2 size 1s, a 2.25 and a 2.5, and then 2 2s. So I wonder if it's like that with the crochet hooks too. I have a 2.75 and a 3.0 as a 2. I wonder if it's like that with crochet hooks too.
What is your millimeters for your F?
Is a 6, and I have an F.
Oh,
is like a 5. What's your F?
Mine is a G6 and it's 4.25 millimeters.
Yeah.
I don't have my F here anymore. I put it away.
Yeah, my F is downstairs, but Val, you're using an F. What does your F say?
It doesn't say millimeters. It just says F.
Because my G is a 6. My F is a 5.5 or something. It's not a 6. It's definitely not 6. So
Well, I was looking to buy like nice fancy crochet hooks because I have some nice fancy crochet hooks for the bigger sizes, but not the smaller sizes. So I was shopping online and a lot of the sets I was looking at don't even have the F.
so did she mean an F or a G? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm doing an F and it's big enough. You know, like well, I had measured gauge because we were talking about this and I was getting.
You measured gauge on a crochet project.
Because only because
crochet cowl, you measured gauge.
because we were talking about it.
Because
I
was having issues.
We were talking about it and my daughter happened to get me this for Christmas. So I was able to do this and measure gauge. That's all I did. If I had to do more than this, I would not have done it. And it was only like for our conversation. So.
Yeah, yours looks way bigger than mine, Glor. Mine is like at the point where I was afraid it wasn't going to fit over my head. This is
that's how I felt with Mom's.
I mean, it fits, but it's not like big and baggy like yours.
Yeah, well, it's gonna get, it's gonna get bigger when you do.
I know, but it's just looking at the neckline. Like yours pulls out a lot further.
Neck kind of small.
Yeah.
But then it keeps you warm.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's the point. So do I go down to an F now?
No, I don't think so.
I say leave it.
Yeah.
Because I think it said like what, 14 puffs in
14
6
puffs
inches?
for 6 inches.
And I'm getting 13.
Yeah.
No, you're fine. You don't need to change anything. My issue is at the very start of it, she has, I did something wrong. I don't know what it is, but she has you knit the foundation chain and then you go back and you knit a row and then you join it. So mine is like open.
Yeah.
You don't join it.
What?
You don't join it.
But we're gonna do like a finishing border on it. So I think that'll make
like
it
at the
together.
end you join it. And when you go around, you don't join it. It's like a spiral.
I know, but I feel like mine is sloppy.
Yeah, no, that's what it looks like. I'm holding mine together with a stitch marker.
And
so that's what it is. And then you at the end, you sew it together and then you put the border on.
How are you guys weaving in your ends?
I'm doing the magic knot.
What's
I'm not weaving in ends. I'm magic knotting it together.
You need to YouTube it, Val. It's like this way that you knot the ends together.
Oh my God, it's so easy. I do it all the time now.
You knot the ends together and then you pull it tight, and technically supposedly you can cut really close to the knot and not have an end showing. So a lot of people use it for like advent calendars or mini skein projects, especially stuff like this where it's not like a sock up close to your skin and rubbing up against you where you're going to feel the knot. You're not going to feel a knot in this thing. So,
because I've been just kind of laying the ends down and crocheting over them and you could see them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you could see it on the screen, but like that transition, you see all of the extra strands. And I'm trying to hold them to the inside, but they go where they want to go.
Yeah.
All right. So I need to look that up then. And here it's really visible here. And again, I feel like I could just pull it out.
Mm-hmm.
I just did my first color change. So right here. So I've only done a couple puffs, but I might actually pull it back and do a magic knot now that Gloria says that.
Yeah, I'm five colors into this. How come no one's told me before now?
Do it for the rest of it.
Where you been?
Rude.
Magic knot. It's my favorite thing.
Does one of you want to show the colors for yours? For your set?
These are the first 5.
Val's further into it, so she can show.
So it starts with like a cream. So I'm knitting it, crocheting it in the order that it was in the package. So it goes solid, semi-solid, or speckle. I don't know what you would call that. So every other skein is a solid. So the first one is a cream. The lighting is terrible. And then a light speckle, and then like a pinkish cream, and then a speckle, and then like a peachier color. And then I made some mini yarn cozies. And then another speckle. And then, but I only made 2 mini cozies. And then this one is like a rose almost. It looks
Like a
brown
mauve.
on the
Yeah.
screen. I don't know how to make it look a better color.
I'll put a picture in that you like, the one that you sent me the other day.
Okay. And then yeah, the colors are showing up terrible. And then a yellowy mustardy color, and then a dark speckle.
So what are you using for your top border?
Color 8.
Oh, okay.
So the second to last multicolored yarn.
Very nice. I'm doing mine out of Spun Right Rounds mini set in the colorway Cauldron. This is my second attempt at it. So I started it and mine was really small. So this is how the gauge conversation started. I was getting 16 puffs per 6 inches. So mine was like really tiny. It could fit over my head, but it was a stretch to get it over my head. So I pulled the whole thing back, and I was doing it on an F and I switched to a G. And I kind of think I probably could have switched to an H and gotten away with it too. I'm a super tight knitter. I guess I'm a super tight crocheter too. I never really did anything, I guess, with crochet that I had to measure gauge.
Well,
So-
and that Spun Right Round, I use that yarn too, and it's thinner. It's a
Yeah.
thinner sock weight yarn, so
Yeah.
that could have something to do with it too.
Yeah.
And I'm crocheting this intentionally loosely because you have to pull that last yarn over
Yeah.
through like 7 loops.
I'm trying to do it loosely. I'm not very good at that though. So, but this is my set. So it's browns and greens, and then it goes to like grayish neutral type colors. And then it's going to go to, I'm not holding all of them up, but like a purpley type color.
Nice.
So it's going to go yellow, green, neutral, purple. So I'm really excited. And that's my only on my needles, because I finished this and I've been working on, and this is my second time working on the Juniper cowl. I got through almost the second color before I decided to pull it all out. So that's kind of all I've been working on. And then some, socks that live in my car. So
I have one more on the needles.
go ahead.
This is a Musselburgh hat I'm making for my husband's birthday. He follows our Instagram but doesn't watch the podcast. In vintage yarn.
Yay!
When we had our dye day, we did some like collaboration colors, and then we each did our own color. And this is my color. So it's greens and blues, and some of the green, like the light green, looks yellowish. And then there are a couple of little like several stitch spots that are just like cream. So this is what the yarn looks like in the yarn cake. It's knitting up much different than I thought it would. I don't know what I expected, but I love it. I thought I liked knitting with handspun. I like knitting with yarn that we dyed. It's just exciting to see like how it's going to turn out. And I'm loving the little like, the little pops of color.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Looks good.
Thank you. That was my only other on the needles.
Okay, I think that's all our on needles. This week, I think Val's gonna do her in the spotlight.
I'm gonna do my in the spotlight. My spotlight item, I don't typically knit garments, but I am going to show you a sweater. This is the Tappan Zee Cardigan by, I believe it was by Amy King. I tried to put it in the show notes when I messed it up. I think this is by Amy King. She goes by Spunky Eclectic. In handspun yarn. The yarn, the fiber came from Sereknity Yarn and Fiber, and it's a merino bamboo nylon blend. The color is Secret Garden. I think I definitely got this at a fiber festival. I looked up the project on Ravelry. I haven't been using Ravelry lately, but it's really been coming in handy for talking about old knit. So I definitely got this at a fiber festival. I think it might have been the New Hampshire. New Hampshire does like a sheep and wool It might have been there that I got it. So this was my first big hand spun project. Let me see if I could move back so you can see the whole thing. It does not fit me anymore. I knit it 10 years ago. So it's a little short sleeve cardigan with just 3 buttons on the top. And it has this like inset, like almost like a lacy.
Yep.
And then that's mirrored down at the bottom.
Very nice.
So there's a little triangle down at the bottom. So when I made this in 2010, and at the time I had a job where my supervisor let me knit in staff meetings. So whenever we had a staff meeting, I would be knitting something, and they loved it. They you know, everyone was always asking me like what I was working on, asking to see progress. So when I finally finished this and was like wearing it to work, so I would just wear it over a long sleeve, like just like a long sleeve t-shirt. People would like comment on it and how they watched me knit it and how exciting it was. And this is the kind of thing I would like wear in public, and other knitters knew that it was hand knit and would like comment on it. So
yeah,
I actually said something in my Ravelry project about like some stranger coming up to me in a coffee shop and like complimenting me on it. So I don't measure gauge, like don't tend to do stuff like that. I tend to modify patterns that I make. But this kind of makes me want to knit a sweater again a little. I was a relatively new spinner at that time too, so I probably spun it a little thicker than I should have, but it held up really nice. I wore this a lot.
It looks good.
So that's it. Tappan Zee Cardigan in hand spun.
Very nice.
Thank you.
If it doesn't fit you anymore.
Well, I actually said maybe Kaylee would want it too, but I don't think this is Kaylee's aesthetic. I think the February lady sweater would be, but I can't find that.
Yeah.
Didn't George shrink that?
Yeah, so I gave it to Devin, and now Devin is a grown-up. So I gave it to her when she was like in middle school.
Yeah.
But it doesn't fit her anymore either. So that's what I was thinking, it would be good for Kaylee.
Yeah. Although she's taller than me now, so she is grown up. She's still skinny though. So
lanky.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to In Your Dreams. Glor, why don't you go first? What is your dream knitting that you've been texting us all day about?
Well, the one I've been texting you guys all day about is my temperature blanket. So I want to make a temperature blanket. So I've wanted to make a temperature blanket for years, and I finally saw like a real pattern for one, because I'm like, I need someone to tell me how many stitches to cast on, and you know, that kind of stuff. So I found one. It's somebody on Instagram. I think it's called Nathalie. Her name's Nathalie. Nathalie and Co. And it's like a linen stitch temperature blanket. And like I bought the pattern last night, and she has the whole thing laid out. Like she's from Canada, so it's like 2017, and she has a whole checklist. It goes through every single month, every single day, the temperature, you know, so it tells you which color you should use. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not following her pattern exactly, like I'm not following her yarn and her colors exactly, because I wanted to pick my own colors. So I'm going to use her pattern as a guideline, but I am breaking mine down into 10 colors. She had 12 colors. I'm breaking mine down to 10, which I found a breakdown somewhere. You know, it gives you like the temperature ranges. And then I'm going to assign a color to each temperature range. And I am using the Lion brand Vanna's Choice, which I've never used before. But I went on the Lion brand website today on my lunch break, and I picked out 10 colors. So I'm doing like grays and blues and greens and like beige colors. And I think it'll go really good in my bedroom, because those are like the colors that we have. So my plan is to have it like, a blanket across the end of the bed, type of thing. So I ordered the yarn today. I ordered just one skein of each color because I don't know how much I'm going to need, and I'll just order more as I need it. But I ordered on the Lion Brand website, and they have this like membership rewards points. And I already have, like, I'm already going to get $5 off my next purchase.
Nice.
Because it's like if you become a member, you get points. If you follow them on Instagram, you get points. If you make a purchase, you get points. So like I already have enough points for like $5 off my next purchase.
Do you have to like pay for membership?
What's that?
Do you pay for membership, or you just have to
No,
sign
you
up?
just like create an account and you get points for like creating an account. So
nice.
So yeah, I'm in. And my second one is the
Maema
cardigan. That's how you say it. Who is it by? I don't have my
Megan Nodecker.
So this is, so I said I wanted to knit a garment in 2022, and I am going to knit my garment out of my hand-dyed yarn. So I got this all wound up over the weekend. So when I took out the winder to do the mini skeins, I was like, well, let me wind a few more things since I have it all, since I have it out. So I wound this up, and this is my plan for my needles when I finish my shawlography. My cardigan is gonna go on those needles with this yarn.
Very nice.
My hand-dyed yarn, I'm very excited to use.
All right, I'll do my dream knitting. So I have 2 things that I really want to focus on right now. So the first one is finishing some of my whips, because where I store my whips is on top of my loom. It's just this little tiny shelf on the top of the loom, and I have so much stuff up there now that I keep one project on top of the dog crate, which is right in front of the loom. And that just seems like a, disaster waiting to happen. So I want to get that cleaned off again and have room to actually store my whips. So that's my first thing. I've got 2 big Advent blankets up there that I want to finish, because that'll clear up a lot of space. And then my other thing is I want to try and do socks for everyone for Christmas next year. So I sent everyone in the family messages trying to find people's, shoe sizes and stuff. And I got this the other day, just came in the mail. It's called the Socks Rule by Katrinkles. And it's a big,
that looks really cool.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
It's got on it. Let's see if I can do it where it says it. So women's shoe sizes, men's shoe sizes, European sizes, and then just a ruler with both centimeters and inches.
It's so smart.
Yeah. So, someone says, hey, I'm a size 7. I can go, okay, size 7. I need to knit to about there. And my toe is going to start 2 inches earlier. So I go back 2 inches, and then you can slip this right into the heel. I do cuff down. So I slip it right into the heel, and then I can measure up to where it is. And that's where I need to start the toe. So once I go through the first Christmas and everyone gets one, I'm gonna mark what everyone's shoe sizes are. So, all right. So Val, let's talk about your In My Dreams.
So I don't really have anything that I'm really thinking about, other than the stuff that I already have plans that I've already spoken about. But Gloria texted us this morning that there's going to be a mystery knit along that's Princess Bride themed.
Yeah.
So it's the same designer who did the Start Baking Mad and the Nights Who Say Knit. And I loved Start Baking Mad. Nights Who Say Knit was a little busy for me, but this is a 4 skein shawl. She said it will be a rectangle shawl. And I really like the fact that it's 4 skeins instead of a bunch of minis. So I think it won't be quite as busy. So
Yeah.
I'm considering it. I want to hear more. She said more details will come out.
But it's soon, right? The pre-orders are soon.
Well, I think
January 25th.
I thought she said February 22nd.
That's when the pattern comes out. But if you want to get the Miss Babs yarn, it's pre-orders start end of January. So that's soon.
You know, I'm gonna have to see the colors that they put together. I have to see the kits. I have to, you know, get all the details, and then I'll decide what
because I have a set of 4 that I had bought for something. Just I bought it just because I wanted it. And it was for a mystery knit along, but I didn't like the pattern. So I want to see, I think I'm going to wait and see what it looks like. And see if this 4 skein set will work with it.
Yeah. There was a yarn set that I wanted from Wicked Knitters last shop update. It was like earthy colors. So I went back and looked at that to see if it would work, but it's only 3 colors. So I think it was like 2 50-gram skeins in 3 different colors. So like a total of 6 skeins. And it was like 1,300 yards or something like that. So this needs 1,600 and an extra color. So I was thinking if there were 4 colors in that, because I couldn't remember. I was thinking if there were 4 colors in that, I would just buy the yarn. Because
it would have been meant to be
to buy it.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to our Outlier Crafts. Val, I know you have a bunch. Do you have them with you or no?
Yeah, I have them with me. I'll stay as brief as I can. I did make more skein cozies. So there's a bag like this for each of you that you'll be getting, and you'll get one of each pattern. There are 6 different patterns. I have a bunch more of this fabric. So if there's any particular like color or pattern that you like, just let me know and you could have more of them.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I've always wanted to make clothes, like sew clothes, but I didn't actually learn how to sew until during the pandemic, and I made like masks, and that was pretty much all I made. So I made some beanies. Look how cute these are. Just little fitted, stretchy beanies.
Very nice.
I think will be cute. I feel like I could make in a different fabric. Some for my husband, because he always wears a knit hat. I think he would totally wear this too. But the one I'm actually excited about, let me show you this. We have to do a little transformation. So I always have my hair in a bun, and I don't often wear a hat because I don't want to take my hair down. I found a pattern for a twisted top beanie, so you could just wear it and have it be slouchy, or you could put your bun through it. Hold on. Let's see if I can do this on camera.
They have knitting hat patterns for that stuff too.
Yeah,
I know, but it's so easy to sew a hat.
Yeah.
It took 10 minutes and I could just put my bun through it.
Very nice.
And my ears can stay warm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've been wearing headbands. So I had some surgery on my forehead a couple of years ago, and I got all of these big headbands because I wanted to like cover the stitches while I was at work. And I was like, oh, these keep my ears warm. So that's what I have been wearing instead of a hat. But now I could have like a hat and have my ponytail stick out.
Very nice. I like it.
Thank you. So that's been my son. I made a bunch. I don't do things on a small scale.
Yeah.
I do a lot. Those are my Outlier Crafts, and I have some embroidery too, but I'm not gonna show that tonight.
Yeah. I've been cricketing my brains out. So
what happens?
Yeah. So I made these for my son's team. For them, when they're it's a hockey team, and when they go into their games, they bring their away jersey and their home jersey all the time, because you never know if the other team, you have to change your jersey color for whatever reason, and they bring them in on their hangers, even though it all is going to get smushed up and messed up, but they all bring it on their hangers, and all the locker rooms have enough hangers for the kids to hang their jerseys up for the game. So I made them personalized ones that has their team name, their last name, and their player number. And this was a pain in the butt. So because the black stuff was fine, like I could just so what the Cricut does is it cuts it out of this adhesive vinyl, and you just peel off the background material, and you're left with this, and you stick it on. Well, the black one peeled fine. The red and the yellow, like I had to hold down each little piece while I was pulling the background off. It took forever to do. Like,
Was it a different brand?
no, it was the same
Vinyl?
brand, and I
Same?
cut them the same way, and they're both like permanent vinyl, so they should be the same thickness, and I didn't
Hmm.
change anything. So I don't know. Maybe it's just because they're different colors. I don't know. Like they felt different too. Like the maroon especially felt more like plasticky than the other stuff, not as pliable. So I don't know if that had something to do with it, but it took forever. And like you can buy them on Etsy for like $20 for a set of 2. And I made 2 for each member of the team. And there's like 16 kids on the team. And all I could think the whole time was, wow, this is totally worth $20 to pay for someone to do it
so
on
much more
Etsy.
than $20.
Yeah.
$20 is a steal.
Right. So that was my main outlier craft. That took up a lot of time. The other thing has been mending pants. My son is coming home pretty much 2 times a week at least, with huge holes in the knees of his pants, because they are doing a lot more indoor recess and stuff. And so for whatever reason, that means sliding around the gym floor and on his knees. And he has these like, of course, he has these athletic pants is like all he wears. He's in 5th grade. He hasn't gotten to the point where like, he wears jeans or anything regularly. He's always wearing athletic pants. And I swear he comes home and they're melted. Like where he slid across the floor, there's a little melted hole. So I have to cut out this like hard plastic circle and then mend around it. And I don't have any to show you, but I do visible mending all the time. So I'll try and insert a picture of it. And that's been all my outlier crafts. Anything for you, Glor?
No,
I didn't think so. So we're going to be doing a little giveaway. Val, do you want to announce the giveaway since it's your craft we're giving away?
It's going to be
surprise, surprise.
Yeah, I've been making these, like they're candy.
Yeah.
They're fun to make, they're quick, and they're so useful. I never really used yarn cozies until very recently, and now I want to put them on all of my yarn. So we'll have a giveaway for, I don't know, we'll stack of them, I guess.
Yeah.
We haven't really talked about what we're gonna have people do for the giveaway. But I was thinking maybe we can have people tag their knit sibs.
Oh, that's sweet.
Whoever they consider their knit sibs. Do they have a knitting group? Do they have a friend that they knit with? Is there a friend that wants to learn how to knit or crochet that they're hoping to get into it? So, maybe people can tag their knit sibs, and that can be their entry to win
That
some.
sounds good. So that'll be on Instagram. And then we'll also do, you can put a comment below on the YouTube. Let's have them tell us something else, like, do they have a knit sib in their life? How about that? Just tell us who your knit sib is. Is it your sibling? Is it your friend? Is it your neighbor? Is it your mom? Is it your dad? Tell us who your knit sib is. So those are the 2 ways to enter. So either enter on Instagram by tagging your knit sib, and you can tag as many people as you want. Put each one in a different comment. That'll be a different entry. Or comment, or you can do both. Comment below with just telling us who your knit sib is. So that's our giveaway. And I think we're gonna have to keep it open to US only. Just because mail issues are kind of a problem right now. Our last giveaway is still sitting in New York in customs, I think, and hasn't made it past there for the past month and a half, 2 months. So I think we want to keep it to just US only. So
makes sense.
All right, so our next segment is on your nightstand. So Glor, what's been on your nightstand?
Same thing as last week. I'm still reading A History of Wild Places. I'm not much further. I'm about halfway, almost halfway. I haven't been reading much. I've just been really busy. The start of the semester has been kind of rough. But it's very good. It's good. I just haven't had a lot of time to read.
Yeah.
I get in bed to read at 11 o'clock at night, and I read 4 pages, and that's it. Like, that's all I can do. But it is very good. it's getting like really interesting right now. Like I'm at a really good point. I don't want to give too much away, but there's a lot of like it's a cult, but they're not saying it's a cult, but like
They never say it's a cult.
Like I don't think they know they're in a cult, but they're in a cult.
That's how they get you.
They don't know it. It's good. It's good. I just haven't had a lot of time to read lately.
I read a
So
book, I
I'm
think it
still
was by
reading.
Emma Straub.
What's that?
I read a book, I think it was by Emma Straub. I don't remember the name of it, but the dad like accidentally joins a cult. Like he thinks he's going to like yoga or something, and he winds up accidentally joining a cult. So,
Oh gosh.
So yeah, it's good. It's good.
So Val, what are you reading?
so I have a couple of things I finished from last time we recorded. I did finish reading Mary Jane by Jessica Anya Blau, and it was good. I enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend it. So whichever one of you guys want it next, you got it. And then I've been spending a lot of time in the car. So I have several audiobooks. I like listening to audiobooks instead of music when I'm driving. I just enjoy it. I feel like it makes the time go really quick. So I do follow some of the celebrity book clubs, and I looked up some of their recent recommendations. So most recently, last night, I finished Lucky by Marissa Stapley. I think that might have been a Reese's book club or a GMA. It was a Reese. So it was about, it's advertised as like a heist gone wrong. I expected a little bit more of like the actual heist in it. I was excited for that. But they didn't really get into that. Like they got into some of like the scamming and finagling and stuff, but not like the actual heist. I wanted like an Ocean's 11 style heist. But it was still good. I would recommend it. I read listened to The School for Good Mothers by Jessamine Chan. That is a current, I want to say Jenna, might be a Jenna book club book for this month. I would not recommend.
I know all of them. I just haven't read them.
Yeah,
you wouldn't recommend it?
No, I would not recommend it. It's about like CPS gets called on this woman. She has a very bad day, and they wind up sending her for a year to the School for Good Mothers, where she's going to learn how to be a good mother, and they determine whether or not she gets her child back. Now, I happen to work for the government, and the way that they were doing things, like if this was set in a dystopian future, yeah, totally, I would get it, but it's not set in a dystopian future. So the way that they did things is so contraindicated from like anything we would want to see in best practices. And then like her child is something like 18 months when she's taken away, and it's like the things that they expect from the child are not developmentally appropriate, and it just like things like that bothered me. So I feel like they could have, like, it had a lot of promise, but it wasn't what I wanted. And I also listened to Once There Were Wolves by Charlotte McConaghy.
That was a good one.
It was very good. Yeah, it was very good. And the audio was done great because it's set in Scotland. And the main character is Australian. So everyone had accents. The audio was really good. I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah, I did the print book of that one and I really liked it.
Yeah, it was good. And then, so last time we recorded, I mentioned that I was about to read The Family as my next book. But then I saw a post that they started production on the movie for A Man Called Ove by Frederick Bachman. And I happen to have this sitting on my bookshelf. He is one of my favorite authors. The Beartown series is one of my very favorite series. They're one of my favorite books. I recommend them to everyone. I haven't read all of his backlist yet, so I think I'm gonna move this one up, and this will be my next read.
That's a good
one.
So
I did a lot of reading. I didn't do a lot of knitting lately, but knitting, reading I've done, or audiobooks I've done.
Yeah. So I guess I'm next. I finished The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I don't have it here to show because I gave it to my daughter to read. I think she'll really enjoy it a lot. It was a cute book. I liked it. I really liked it a lot. I thought it was good. And then Val talked about it a couple times, so I don't need to give too many details on that one. And then I moved on to this one, Reckless Girls by Rachel Hawkins. And
wanna read
this
that one.
is, yeah, this, I think you need to read this one. This is a set on a boat. You know, this two girls want to go to this deserted island that they had heard about, but you know, everyone knows that it's bad juju over there, kind of. And so they hire a guy and his girlfriend to take them there, but then when they get there, it's not deserted. There's already a boat there, and they become friends with the people there. And then like halfway through their trip, this like sketchy dude shows up. So they end up with like 3 boats there on this supposedly deserted island. So it was really good. Definitely a good twist and everything. I enjoyed it a lot. And then I started, this is my next book. And so I'm trying to start my book of the month. So we all do book of the month, and they have, there's a little symbol there. They have a reading challenge. So the challenge this year is 12 books. So this is my first book for the 12 books. And then another part of the challenge is a book over 400 pages. So I grabbed this one. So this is Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Booley. And this is, I think it's a YA book.
It is.
I just started it, like, I don't know, 30 pages in, maybe, not even. So far I'm enjoying it. It's kind of frustrating for me because they do a lot of things in native language, in the Native American language, and you can easily tell what they mean by context. But for me, like, I want to know exactly what it means. So I'm constantly stopping and Googling like what the words mean and stuff. And I didn't even check. There may be an index in the back, but no, I don't know. There's not. But I'm, you know, that's just one of the things that at any time that there's a book with another language, I'm always, even if it's like, you know, someone says something and then they tell you right afterwards what the translation is, I'm still going to look it up and see if it's actually the translation or not. Like, that's just one of the things my brain can't get over. So the beginning was a little slow going. I'm still in the beginning, but now I know a few of the words and I understand them. I don't have to Google them every time. So, but so far I like it. And it's based around a hockey family too. So, you know, that's always gonna get me. And then I have an audiobook that I just started. The library book.
Oh, I read that.
I've heard of it.
Showing
Well,
your,
I did it on audiobook. Yeah.
You did an audiobook too? Yeah, so it's about a library fire in San Francisco,
Somewhere
one of them, somewhere in California. This huge, like the biggest library fire that ever happened. And I'm just getting started in it, so I don't know much about it, but it's a nonfiction book. So I'm enjoying it so far. So those are all my books. I think, is that everything? That's everything.
Yeah.
I think so.
So agenda.
So comment below, post on our Instagram, and we'll let you know.
Enter the giveaway.
Some yarn cozies.
Yeah. So what, should we leave it open for 2 weeks until our next episode, or should we just do a week?
Let's do 2. I don't know. We'll talk about it offline and we'll put it in the post about the giveaway.
Okay. Sounds good.
Open.
All right. Well, that's it. So happy knitting, everyone.
Happy knitting.
Bye.